How you guys doing? On today's episode of Brick, Mortar, and Smoke, I'm going to talk to you about Tarpon Springs, Florida. This is actually a Greek haven in a state with a Spanish name and with, pretty high Hispanic population. So today we're going to hit a cigar bar called Serafin Cigars. This place is really phenomenal. Arnold Serafin, the guy who owns it, does a great job. All the cigars that are in there are his own, okay? He doesn't really have a lot of the brands that you guys are really familiar with. They're all his own cigars. They're rolled right here in Tarpon Springs, but let me fill you in on a little secret. The cigars are fantastic. In my opinion, they're world class, and he doesn't take a backseat to anyone. So let's go hit it. Remember to subscribe and like. You'll notice the street signs are in Greek and English. The road we're on right now is called Dodecanese, and that means the 12 islands. This is actually not like Greek culture as far as the mainland and Athens is concerned. This is more of a reflection of the islands of Greece. The people from Greece that used to get sponges out of the water and make that as their living kind of do the same thing here in Tarpon Springs. They found the same environment over there in El Agua. On the trees over there is where we're going. That is Serafin de CUBA Cigars, and we're going to go meet Arnold Serafin and enjoy what is a Cuban-American cigar, if you will. Be prepared to enter a piece of Cuba right here in Tarpon Springs, Florida. This is Serafin de CUBA Cigars, and right there up front is Arnold Serafin. Arnold, what's up, dude?
Hey, Bruce.
How you doing, brother?
Good, man. How are you?
Outstanding. We're going to go inside, check your store out, brother, okay? Okay, big thing about Serafin Cigars is the culture. This man right here is not just your typical American. He is third, fourth generation Cuban-American, which has he has a history of cigar heritage. Arnold, tell us all about it.
Well, my great-grandfather, he came to Cuba from the Canary Islands, Spain, late 1800s. He was a soldier in the Spanish Army, decided to stay in Cuba. Here he is right here with my great-grandmother. Okay. And he was the first one in our family to make cigars in Cuba. Wow. In the central region, Santa Clara, Las Villas. Over here is my grandmother's first cousin, Gerardo Machado, which some people say he was a dictator, but he was actually one of the presidents of Cuba, the one that did most of the developments in Cuba, the capital, the central highway, many things. So we're very proud of him in the family. Here's my father. We just lost him in December of last year with Jeb Bush. Marco Rubio's here, President Bush. We did cigars for him a few years back at a family event. My uncle, my grandfather, dad's dad making cigars, my mother's father making cigars, everybody. It's like...
Can you tell us about those paintings over there, man?
Sure.
All right, let's go that way.
We got two different paintings done here, two different artists. This one is done by my friend Wilfredo Sanchez. He did this while Dad was living. And it's just a picture of me and Dad about 20 years ago. I was a lot thinner there. And we're in the tobacco field in Cuba. I think he did an amazing job there. And then in January of this year, Noah, her I can't remember her first name right now, but Noah is her last name. She did this, and it's my grandfather, Dad, and my great-grandfather in the tobacco fields in Cuba as well. Just a tribute to my family history and legacy in the cigar business, which we feel very passionate about. Over here we have a mold, and in the mold, we're showing everybody how basically the process is made with the filler, and then of course, this gets covered. The mold gets covered, and this is a relatively newer mold. But over here I have a vintage press, and an interesting story is the mold that's sitting on top was sent to me by my aunt in Cuba probably about 5 years ago. It was my grandfather's last mold from when he had his little cigar factory. So I just love to show it and display it here to the customers and anybody who's basically interested in the history of cigar making and the whole process behind it. Yeah, Bruce. Over here in the store we have, in addition to cigars, we also sell different novelty items, some hats, some baseball caps,
shirts,
some Hawaiian shirts. Just because it's we're a little bit outside of the traditional Ybor City, Tampa area. We're kind of on this side of town, like I always like to say. And closer to here in the Sponge Docks, it's a real touristy area, so these items pretty much do well. Our humidor is small compared to a lot of shops, but I always like to say that it does the job, and we pretty much showcase a lot of different products in here, but mostly the ones that we make. We got about 16 different sizes, and we have everything from like a Connecticut wrapper, you know, this is a 60 ring right here, to a 60 ring Habano. We got a 60 ring Maduro. And I guess I don't have to tell you because you're in the industry. You know, the trend right now is the larger, fatter cigars. They do very well. So the 60 rings are one of our better sellers, of course. We also have a 6.5 by 54, the Sublime, also a good seller. This is a Habano. This is a Nicaraguan Habano, and let me just say, most of these, or I'd say probably all of them actually, are a blend of Nicaraguan and Dominican. Probably about maybe 75 to 80% Nicaraguan and Dominican. Some of them have the Nicaraguan Habano wrapper, the Connecticut wrapper, Ecuador wrapper as well. So, you know, we try to put different tobaccos from around the world to kind of make a satisfying blend that most people would enjoy. Okay, Bruce, I'm over here making some of our Cuban coffee, and I'm using my German-made Braun machine, which we love. It's a really good espresso machine. Brings out the true flavor. Over here, I like to drink either Cubita or Café La Llave, which are some of my favorites. And I kind of just eyeball it. I like to do this old school. Make sure there's enough froth, and you're going to see what I'm talking about in about the next 5 seconds. It's going to be brewing really nice coffee, and I'll let you decide and tell me what you think. And here's our signature Cuban espresso. The tourists and all the visitors here to Tarpon Springs love our coffee.
All right, so when you're in the Tampa Bay area, get yourself down to Tarpon Springs. You'll be glad you came. This is my man, Arnold Serafin right here. This is his shop. You've seen the magic he does inside. Please come support him, and his cigars are available online. You give him a call, Serafin de CUBA Cigars. You're gonna get hooked up with the best local artisan cigars that I've ever had. Arnold?
Bruce, I just want to say thanks for doing this video. It's really been a pleasure, like always, and it's been a lot of fun. And to all the customers and viewers, come out and visit us sometime.
All right.
And on the internet, SerafinCigars.com.
There it is. We'll see you next time on Brick, Mortar, and Smoke.